we are going to celebrate the 12-year anniversary of the podcast
by comparing Mardi Gras, horror nights, and the holidays.
In another versus battle with our special guest, Jackie SuperEnthused.
This is episode 554 of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Stress levels. We may sound a little different from normal. We are having technical issues. But, as we've said in the intro, we are here to celebrate 12 years of doing this podcast. And of course, I would be remiss without doing it with my lovely wife, who has been with me from the start, Tracy.
Hello everyone.
12 years.
And the rest.
And Chris, who's been with us like 5 and a bit years at this point, 6 years.
Wow. What's up?
And Michelle, we never quite figured out how long, but like 6 as a sponsor, I think, and then like 2 or 3 as a host.
She's always been here.
No, it's only been like 1 as a host.
No. 21.
Michelle,
it was December
it ages
21.
you much faster, don't worry.
Okay.
Like 1.5.
Okay.
Anyway. And our very special guest, we've been trying to get on for ages, and we finally we got it to work. We are super enthused to have Miss Jackie on. Hey, Jackie.
Hello. Yes,
Hey.
I am super enthused to be on too. And celebrating your 12 years. That's amazing.
Oh, wait until you get there.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, hopefully that's
No,
the
we
same
didn't.
enthusiasm that we do. Right.
What's this enthusiasm? I thought it was just insanity.
I mean, right now, I have
A little
no
bit of
idea
both.
what's going on,
Yeah.
for definite. 12 years. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's just another.
Well, yeah,
anniversary,
this will be
but-
the 12th time, 11th time we've talked about if we do. We tell the same story every year. Oh, we're only doing it for a few weeks. And we had a Guitar Hero microphone.
It's
blah, blah, blah.
It's more that this episode's going to sound worse than all the previous episodes. Like, isn't it supposed to get better over time?
Yeah.
we peaked somewhere in high school, and now we're just going down.
I mean,
Gotta mix it up.
You might be using that Guitar Hero microphone right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
It
where we
sounds
started.
kind of like you are.
No, please don't say that. The internet isn't working for us at the moment. We're going to sound great because, you guys not so much. I do apologise. Jackie, thank you for joining us. Yes. I know you don't like doing this, but I'm going to give you a chance to let everyone know who doesn't know who you are already, a chance to kind of get to know who you are before we get into this.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you. My name's Jackie, and just like you guys, I love Universal Orlando. I live here in Orlando, grew up in Florida. I have a YouTube channel called Super Enthused, a brand new podcast called Expedition Enthused, and I just like to share the fun, nerdy stuff that I like doing, I guess.
Cool.
We
It's
like listening.
Probably the vlog we watch
And
the
watching.
most at the
Probably,
moment.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah, and he's not just giving fan service. He
No,
really
I
does
do.
mean that.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually bumped into Sam at Horror Nights last year. He had no idea who I was.
Random man accosting people
Yeah.
again.
I was like, "Hi, Sam," and I'm like, "You don't know who I am, but I'm gonna say hi anyway." I felt very
Well,
small.
he knows now.
Yes. Right. So I enjoy these episodes. I like to have a guest on for them, but we are going to debate the big one, the seasonal events. Which is better? Mardi Gras, which is currently going on, Horror Nights, which is our spiritual favourite, and the holidays, which we've now finally experienced all of them, so we can actually do this.
Happy bunny now.
I said this to you, Jackie, yesterday before when we were just chatting back and forwards. I think if I asked, I don't know about you specifically, but I know if I asked all 4 of us, without breaking it down like we're going to, which was our favourite, I know what the answer would be, without question.
Oh. Because I don't know
Yeah,
that
I think so
answer.
too.
I think so. But I think this is going to change. I think it's when you break them down into these 4 elements that I've got, I think it's going to be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as people think.
I feel like these breakdowns always do that.
Yeah.
That's why I like doing them, because it's too easy just to go like we did before, Universal versus Islands. It's too easy just to go whichever one's your favourite. But when you break them down into, like we did, music and rides and theme
Oh,
and
yeah, I
stuff,
remember getting very upset over my not favourite,
it's interesting.
my second
Yeah.
favourite park
Yeah.
ended up being my favourite one. That was upsetting.
The best thing about this is you guys don't know what elements I've broken these down into yet. So
Oh,
I'm going to throw
goodness.
them at you. and think of the...
Yeah, I was listening to your the last one with Hogsmeade versus Diagon Alley and going through the categories, and it is really hard because even little things like each element, you're like, wow, this has this and this has this, and it's really tough.
It is. Interesting. So, we are starting off with music, and I will clarify anything that's not played live or as part of a live show. So background music loops, basically.
Pipe music.
And Chris, I'm throwing you under the bus, buddy, to start us off.
It's a great question.
Yeah, glad you answered it.
My brain automatically is going to Horror Nights, but I'm debating between that and Mardi Gras just because I love that New Orleans style jazz. We were there last year, had a blast, and hearing that also kind of takes me back to both places. But Horror Nights these last few years especially has just been killing it with kind of the background 80s synth pop kind of sound. So yeah, I think Horror Nights is going to get that vote.
That was an easy one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disrespecting the holidays. Okay. Sorry, Trace. I love it. But yeah, I think this one would take over. Yeah. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Cool. Okay. One vote for Horror Nights. Michelle.
Okay, this one's actually pretty easy for me, I think, because when we spoke about Halloween Horror Nights music with my Rush of Fear podcast, I could not think of the music at all. Like I couldn't play it in my head because I guess when I'm there, I'm more focused on the sights and the screams and that kind of stuff. I'm not really thinking about the background music during that event. So I really don't even know what it sounds like, to be honest with you. Mardi Gras, I can't really think of any background music for Mardi Gras other than the parade. So I'm going to have to say Christmas, the holidays, because that is part of the whole experience for me when visiting for the holidays. That is part of the big part of the environment that really puts me in the holiday mood and gets me excited to be there, and it contributes to my surroundings and the sights, as opposed to it not feeling like it's a part of it at all in my brain. So holidays it is.
Jackie, I'm throwing you in the middle now. You've seen how it goes.
Okay. Well, this is pretty easy for me, and it's definitely Halloween Horror Nights. Now, Mardi Gras music is really fun, and I love New Orleans. I love Anne Rice novels. I go to New Orleans a lot, but since I live here and I go to Mardi Gras a lot, the music gets really repetitive. It's the same 5 songs on loop. They're fun, but they get old quick. Yeah. I love Christmas music. I love the holidays, but it's also kind of the same songs. They kind of get old quick. Horror Nights, not only do I love the music and I can think of the music from every year I've been, we collect the vinyls of Midnight Syndicate. We collect the music, and I listen to Horror Nights music in my off time, like all year long. Good. And I used to be in bands and play music. So music is everything to me. I listen to it everywhere I go. And yeah, 2019 with the synth is one of my favorite years. But the music is everything to me. It is the vibe. It is the feel. It's like just the complete everything. So Horror Nights wins this hands down, no question for me.
Tracy.
I like that answer.
Of course you do.
I don't like this game. I'm going home.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, I make you play.
I do love Christmas too. It's really fun. It's just,
No, I've upset myself. Yeah, so so Jackie, everything Jackie said, I agree with. Yeah, everything Jackie said, I agree with. What to add on? So yeah, Mardi Gras, loved Mardi Gras, absolutely adored it. It was everything I wanted it to be, but the music is repetitive and not a lot of variety, unless you've got the live stuff.
Yeah.
Holidays. It was how many years have I been begging you for us to go to?
A long time.
A long time. And I loved it, and the music's great, but it's the same pool of stuff over and over and over again, and it upset me that they took out favourite pieces of music to replace it with
I knew you'd go
Christmas music. Horror Nights. You don't walk around in Horror Nights. As soon as that music starts playing and it gets into your ear, you start dancing. You can't help it. And it becomes, like Jackie said, it's a soundtrack as well. And we do it. We don't have the vinyls. I wish we had the vinyls. If I could get them home safely, I would have them. But we create soundtracks and listen to them year round.
Well, Horror Nights Nightmares put their soundtrack out for every year, and I've got like 2019 one I listen to constantly,
It's
and
amazing.
last year's.
Yeah.
I have really got to pay more attention when I go to HHN.
Yes,
You
you
do.
do. But yeah,
It's because you're too busy yourself is the problem.
No, I'm really not anymore, though.
Not anymore.
I'm not.
but yeah, Horror Nights it's an oral experience as well as a visual one, and
Oh.
it's gonna be
That's what she said. Come on, Chris.
AURAL. Thank you very much,
I'm
people.
trying to be good.
I knew what you
with
meant,
our
Tracy.
guests.
I think the word should have been auditory. Auditory.
No, it is. It's aural. I always pronounce it aural just so there's no mistakes there.
Anyway, no, stop that. Brain's gone somewhere else.
Come on.
Now, yeah, so for me, it's Horror Nights. It has to be.
Okay.
Mm.
I mean, we've already got a winner because we've got 3 votes for Horror Nights at this point. But Mardi Gras, I'm kind of like Michelle is with Horror Nights with Mardi Gras. I know we've only been once, but the like music loops I can't even think of. But I know the feet don't fail me now. It's like that
Well, yeah.
on a loop.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can hear.
The parade music, I'm going to class that because it's not live, so that's technically part of it. Which again, I think I only remember Feet Don't Fail Me now because that's what we got told to do our bead throwing with, which we completely ignored. Horror Nights. Let's go Holidays next. Holidays. It was jarring. Honestly, walking into port of entry and not having the port of entry music
didn't like
there,
it.
it was weird.
Didn't
But
like
like
it.
modern stuff, I'll give Laura a shout out from Universal Family. She hated it as well.
Just want to point out when you go all the way to Florida and the song that seems to be played most is by Chris Rea, who is from my hometown.
Yeah.
I go to the other side of the world and I'm still at my hometown.
I think there's certain areas where it would have worked, but it felt jarring in a lot of places, like modern Christmas songs in places where it didn't, like Hollywood and new, like those types of places it shouldn't be. Part
It
of
could
it
have been
should definitely
tailored
not
for
have had
each.
it. The parade music didn't get me. It was quite repetitive.
I don't remember.
I feel like I'm really crapping on the holidays here
I
right
know,
now.
we loved it.
But then Horror Nights, everything everybody said, it's different every year.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's forgetting also the soundtracks inside the houses.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Isn't that considered part of the shows, though?
it is music that is not live. But anyway, even if you take that out, it's irrelevant. Just the Scare Zone soundtracks alone, there's always a random piece of music that will get stuck in my head. So going back to 2015 when we went with the kids, it was Clowns by Kilogram. That became our Horror Nights anthem that year. And then there was a track that was played around Jimmy Fallon last year. I still can't remember what it was, and it just became the song that got stuck in my head. I even got Raymond to our oldest to Shazam it, so I knew what it was. I think Horror Nights is just, it's that thing where it's different every year and it just sets the theme. But then also considering it's not just the parks we're talking about here either. There's more Christmas music out around the resorts and City Walk, which could give it, you can tell who's more of a talker here, can't you?
no.
It could give it more of a vote, but again, it just, I don't know, it felt weird. It felt weird it being 26 degrees, to be fair, and being and celebrating Christmas. But anyway, long story short, I'm going for Horror Nights.
Oh, you got there in the end.
So, and Lee, just to bring another point in there, which I didn't even think about, but it's technically not live music. Fuel Girls.
See, I'm going to class that as, I'm going to say no. I'm going to class that
That's
as
a
part of the
performance.
shit. Yeah, I know, but I'm classing that the different. That's no.
Oh, so we're moving the goalpost as we do this.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, yes.
All right, it's my podcast. I can do what I like.
Yeah.
So with 4 votes to 1, sorry, Michelle, Halloween Horror Nights won music. Right, we're going on the next one, which I think has become a huge part of the seasonal events, and that is food.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to go with Halloween Horror Nights
Of course you are.
on this one. I haven't been to Mardi Gras yet this year. I'm going in a couple of weeks. But in the past, speaking on my past experience, Mardi Gras food is hit and miss for me because I'm not really a big seafood fan, and it seems to be there's a lot of seafood options there. Holidays just feels like a lot of sugar.
Yep.
And HHN is very creative, which I like. And I think I've liked the selections that I've gotten from that event more than the others. So HHN it is.
Okay. Jackie.
Oh, well, I mean, pizza fries alone.
Yes.
I like the argument.
Yeah, right? It's just logic, just facts. No,
Yes.
but this past year, I feel like all the events have stepped up their food because in past years, I don't feel like Horror Nights had really a lot besides twisted taters and pizza fries. There wasn't a lot. There were drinks and specialty beers, but not a ton. But this past year, they got so creative with the food. I think the year before, maybe even they started, but the food was really cute. It all tasted good. There were vegetarian options. They upped the ante a lot. And they did for Christmas too this year. They had a lot of good stuff. But like you said, Michelle, it was mostly sweets. It was mostly cookies and sweets.
Yeah.
And they weren't bad, but I'm just not a huge sweet person. I like salty more. And the Mardi Gras food is very hit or miss. If it's fresh and they just made it, it can be really good. I like seafood and I like Cajun and Louisiana type of food. But if you get it fresh, it can be good. But if it's been sitting under those heat lamps, it is not great. And you may or may not notice that I don't show a lot of Mardi Gras food in my video. And there's a reason. And it's because it's very hit or miss. And I just don't even want to like eat it. So
That's fair enough.
Horror Nights wins for that one again.
Okay. Tracy.
I have 2 words. Sambusa coffin.
Okay.
Yeah, the coffin was good. It was really good. I got it like 5 times.
I am still dreaming of that. So, and honestly, I can't think of any other food. So it's Halloween Horror Nights for me.
Oh, wow.
I just need to make it.
You're killing me. I was like, we painted this at the beginning, like, oh, it's going to be all over the place, and it's just like, Horror Nights. Chris, I'm going to make you go last on this one. Mardi Gras.
That's all right.
See, we didn't do a lot of stuff at Mardi Gras. See, I've come at this from a different point of view from you guys. I'm looking at more like the theme of the food and stuff. And
We were
where
also
it's
cheated of some time at Mardi Gras because of the weather.
well, we did, yeah. I feel, and I don't know whether this is true specifically, but I feel there's a lot more Mardi Gras stuff that's spread throughout the resort, whereas I think the Horror Night stuff is very much focused on being in Universal Studios Florida, whereas when we've talked about it on the podcast this year, there's stuff at Toothsome, there's stuff at the hotels, and in City Walk. They've got Booths and Islands of Adventure this year, Booths out in City Walk. The holidays, I completely agree with Jackie, other than the point that I am a sweet eater, and yet I still was turned off by a lot of the holiday stuff last year. Because it is all cookies and ice cream and sugar coma inducing foods. I swore,
On top of the normal sugar foods inside
Yeah.
the
I mean,
park.
to be fair, yeah, I swore I wasn't going Horror Nights on this one. Although I'm going to call Kenneth out at this point, where he swore that the Chance PB&J deep fried thing was the best item in Horror Nights history. So he purposefully went and bought me one because he wanted me to try it, and it was nasty.
Yeah, no, that is not it.
Oh, it was horrible. But theme wise, like I like again that Mardi Gras this year they've used Sting Alley, and it suits the Japanese theme really well this year. And then obviously they started that at Horror Nights last year with the Meats locker, which was so cool. We spent quite a bit of time in there actually.
We did.
I swore I wasn't going for Horror Nights for this, but I think
Join us.
It is a really good point, though, about the Mardi Gras food being everywhere in the resorts and in City Walk. There's a lot more.
yeah. But themed wise, it's what?
But
There's
still.
like a milkshake at Toothsome. There's like the beignets, which are bog standard. There's the king cake and your crawfish and stuff, which isn't specifically Mardi. I mean, it is, but it's not thinking outside
I'm
the
not
box.
a seafood.
I mean, you look back
person.
to when Universal started doing proper themed stuff for Halloween Horror Nights, and it was back that first year Stranger Things started with the Eggo waffles and stuff, and since then they've ramped it up. So
It's amazing.
like I want Horror Nights to win, so I'm going to say Horror Nights, but I have a feeling this might be a clean sweep for Horror Nights. Yeah, Horror Nights. Chris?
I won't touch on holidays because you guys basically summarized what I would say about it. Just not that it's bad, just way too much sugar on top of all the sugar you're already consuming. This one's a bit tough, just because I'm trying to look at it as a whole. I'm trying to look at every single kind of way you would categorize or, rank something like this. Horror Nights, I think it has the better theming. Definitely, especially last year, right? I mean, even just the what was it? The Rice Krispie Brains. I forgot the name that they.
It was the princess. We got it. It was horrible.
Meat, like princess meat or something.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Freshly ground princess.
Yes, it was.
Freshly ground princess.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did have it the next day.
It was horrible.
I think the theming is a little bit more on point for the event.
Yeah.
Although for Mardi Gras and just coming back fresh from it a week ago, they theme out the booths to the countries or to some of the foods, but it's not anything mind-blowing or spectacular like you get with Horror Nights.
Yeah.
However, I will say Mardi Gras offers a huge variety and assortment of foods. I think it caters to more people than Horror Nights would. In reference to the food, I think there's a lot more options there, even though with me saying that, I wasn't the biggest fan of this year's Mardi Gras. And in fact, last year's Horror Nights was fantastic. But I'm gonna have to go in with Horror Nights. I'm sorry, Mardi Gras. I'm still thinking about Horror Nights.
I hate to break it to you, Chris, but it hasn't made any difference to the score.
No, I know, but I gotta be truthful.
Mm-hmm. I want to throw a bonus point in for Mardi Gras and the holidays because they are free events included with your ticket.
That's
whereas
very
Horror
true.
Nights is a paid event, so obviously you're going to expect the food and things to be better. And I guess that's for every category, like just a little bonus for free events that you don't have to pay extra for.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
I just thought of it.
Get the gift card option for Mardi Gras that they don't have for Horror Nights, which you could just buy an extra one right now and use it for Horror Nights. So
I think Horror Nights just loses altogether then, doesn't it? Because you have to pay to get in where the others you don't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Well, we're going into the break with an already clear winner at this point, winning both food and music is Halloween Horror Nights. Who knows? We still have a chance for a draw at best, I guess, at this point. But we are going to take a quick ad break to hear from our lovely sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Man, we need a vacation.
Oh, I got this.
Whoa, that's awesome. But I was thinking something a little more adventurous.
Okay, how about this?
Yes!
And how about some relaxation from Mama?
Oh, perfect. How did you do that?
Easy. PortKey Vacations.
For your next vacation, let PortKey Vacations take away all the guesswork and stress of planning. From air and hotel to theme park tickets and everything else in between, they've got you covered. Just visit PortKeyVacations.com and touch the PortKey to get started with your free, no-obligation quote request. With just one touch, and PortKey Vacations will magically take you wherever you want to go.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here celebrating our 12 years with Chris, Tracy, Michelle, and Jackie SuperEnthused. I don't like saying that. We are currently debating Mardi Gras versus Horror Nights versus the holidays, and Horror Nights is winning hands down at this point, and literally hands down at this point. We are moving on to our third topic out of 4. Jackie, I'm going to let you go first on this one. And this topic is theming.
Is that it? Just theming?
Just theming.
Nice.
You can
overall.
interpret that word however you want.
Ooh. Well, the holidays have gorgeous theming at Universal Studios. Like, it's so beautiful. All the lights in New York and Hollywood. It's kind of like an incomparable feeling when you're just sitting there looking at all the lights and the tribute store and all of that. So I think it's really high up there. Mardi Gras theming is really great and cool. I do think, like you said, Chris, it's kind of simple. It's kind of basic. It's nice. It's cool, but it's not super over the top.
Mhm.
But sorry, but Halloween Horror Nights has to win again because it's just gorgeous theming. It's different theming every year, whereas Christmas and Mardi Gras are the same every year. It's completely different from scratch, from the ground up, all over the park. Now moving into City Walk, the fog that just envelops you when you walk in to each scare zone, the way that the scare zones and the costumes, I mean, there are costumes at all the holidays, but I guess I would include that as part of theming.
Yeah.
They're just amazing. It's incredible. And the fact that they start the theming for Halloween Horror Nights in the summer just shows you like it's months and months of work to make it look that way. It's so detailed and there's all these little hidden things, and it's incomparable as far as theme park events, like all around the world, I'd say, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sitting listening and having an argument with myself here.
Well, you can have it out loud because it's you to go next.
Oh. No. Don't make me
Do you want me to
choose
go
between
next?
my babies, yes.
Mardi Gras, again, it's very much the same every year. I don't even remember the theming for Mardi Gras, if I'm honest.
Gold, green, purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the booths, I suppose, a little bit, and then it's kind of spilled out onto City Walk a
And
little
lots
bit
of
now
glitter.
with the Cursed
I mean,
Coconut
the
Club.
parades too.
Yeah, true.
I do love that
And then
parade.
obviously like the performers and stuff that are out and about in New York, like before the parade and what have you. But beyond that, there's nothing. Horror Nights, the theming's amazing. I mean, you can throw the houses in at this point as well. Like if you, it's funny. I was talking about to one of the girls at work who doesn't do any of these things and just talking about how amazing they are. Just walking into that main room in Dead Man's Pier last year with that huge half ship in there, we were just like, I remember turning to Chris and going, "Holy, there's a ship in here! What the hell?"
Holy ship.
It was just
Holy shit.
but the vast majority of the theming for Horror Nights is in Universal Studios Florida. I know where I'm going with this one. The theming is amazing, but then the holidays is everywhere. Every hotel has a Christmas tree in that's stunning. City Walk, you look with the photo op in there last year, and then the Earl of Squirrel photo op in Studios, and then just right throughout that park, look at Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, the decorations that go up in there. Zeus Landing, it's the best time to visit Zeus Landing is at the holidays. It's killing me that I know where I'm going at this point. It's not Horror Nights. I just think, yes, it's the same every year, but if you're not using that into it, I just think the overall theming of the holidays and what it adds to the entire resort outweighs what Horror Nights does. It's killing me.
It is killing me.
Because it is. I love Horror Nights and the theming is amazing, but it is very much, other than a little bit at Cabana Bay and then the Dead Coconut Club last year, it's all Universal Studios Florida, and really you're only getting to see it all for like 6 hours a night, whereas the holiday stuff is all year round, like resort wide. So I'm going to go.
You're basically saying you want quantity over quality.
No, that's not what I said.
Sounds like it.
No, but it's got to be an argument.
It's a good argument. It is true. And the Christmas trees in the resorts are amazing. Really, really impressive.
Yeah. And we got to see most of them last year because we went to or stayed at 6 of the 8 on-site hotels.
We didn't stay at 6. I would have killed him if I had to pack that many times. Stayed at 3?
Yeah.
3.
Well, we visited.
And we visited
all of them.
We stayed at 3.
Yeah. 3, that's
and
ridiculous.
Visited another 3, and we never went because we stayed at Dockside in September.
Yeah, but didn't see a tree.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay the holidays, however much it kills me. Tracy, are you ready to go?
Michelle, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Good.
Yeah, so Mardi Gras I don't really consider that it has any theming. I think that it has food booths that are themed to countries, not really Mardi Gras necessarily, and they have a parade.
Oh yeah, I missed out the parade for the holidays as well.
So that's not really like, it's the parks aren't decorated necessarily for Mardi Gras. The city walk, like nothing's really decorated for Mardi Gras. So that puts that one totally out of the running for me. HHN, as we all know, is themed out the wazoo. It is incredible, absolutely incredible, mind-blowing, life-changing. Honestly, in my world, it was life-changing. However, Lee went down the same road I was going to go, in that the amount of theming as well as the quality is everywhere for holidays, everywhere. And it's amazing theming. It's gorgeous. The tree in studios, all the decorations around studios, the parade at studios. And then we've got over at Islands, Seuss Landing is one of my favorite things in the world during the holidays. The Wizarding World is decorated for holidays. I mean, it's just like Christmas threw up all over the whole resort for that holiday. The resorts themselves, the hotels, are amazing. I love the lobbies of all the hotels during the holidays. So I think I'm going to have to say holidays as well, simply because the amount of, I don't want to say quantity over quality like Chris said, but I am literally immersed in the holidays everywhere I go during that season. I really, really wish that they would do Halloween everywhere. They don't necessarily need to do HHN everywhere, but Halloween, like decorate for Halloween everywhere. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, yep, holidays.
Tracy, are you ready to go? Oh, do you want
Probably
Chris to
as
go
ready
first?
as I will ever be.
Go, Tracy. You got this.
This hurts. This is going to hurt.
Ooh.
Oh! We can discount Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is great, but it's not on the same scale as Halloween Horror Nights and the holidays. Love Mardi Gras, however. Oh, this is hard. This is horrible.
It is.
I am a huge Halloween Horror Nights fan, as we all are, but you know how long I wanted Christmas, and the Grinch is my man. He is, yeah. And it's just like, sorry, Christmas, Grinch, I'm there.
I know, we spent far too much on Grinch merchandise.
That was my next point was, I spend a little bit of money at Halloween Horror Nights. I was expecting to get into trouble for how much I spent.
I didn't realise how much we'd spent until we got home.
I just kept quiet and kept spending.
Is that about the bar at Rising Star or the actual merchandise?
Well, put it
we
this
don't
way.
talk about the bar at Rising Star, thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
No,
Never
right.
mind. Sorry.
So Jackie, to put it into perspective,
That didn't happen.
it was only because we had a team member friend with us that we didn't spend nearly $400 in the tribute store on the first visit.
I did offer to go back and spend the other half.
It cost us like $230, I think, in the end.
And I still wanted more.
And we still spent more.
But it's like, I did panic about getting stuff home because I didn't think we were going to be able to.
No, we did.
But the trees, I am a sucker for a Christmas tree, and they're just everywhere. And Earl of Squirrel, I mean, our Christmas tree, I brought stuff home, and our Christmas tree was a universal tree. I had a little, our topper was the plush Earl.
Oh, yeah.
And we had the squirrel type inside the tree as well to look for, and
Horror Nights baubles and
I think it was
ornaments.
just, I think because it's my most recent experience, and excess music aside, excess repeated music aside, it was everything I hoped for and more. And the Grinch show was amazing, and just just the decorations everywhere, like you said, the hotels and Christmas music on the buses. Now, for some reason, that didn't bother me.
Will you just say it? Because I feel like you're trying to talk yourself out of saying the holidays at this point.
I'm going to say Mardi Gras in a minute. But yeah, it's the holidays. It has to be this time
She picked holidays.
Christopher.
All right, back to having an answer that doesn't matter.
Mardi Gras.
First of all, I'm just going to quickly duke it out with you and Michelle, because I think you guys just kind of passed on Mardi Gras way too easily, in the sense of, oh, aside from this like massive parade with like amazing floats and like all these really detailed characters that walk the streets, they have no decorations, which is very false. And if I had to kind of rank it, I'd put it up there close to the holidays.
What?
However,
Wow. Yeah, but he's got the holidays below Halloween Horror Nights.
Correct. I'm sorry. Yes, the holidays are awesome over there. It puts you in the mood. It puts you in the spirit. Going to the resorts, you got all the trees and everything. But what I was trying to get at by quantity over quality was not saying that it's low quality decorations, but rather the theming and the level of theming that you get out of Horror Nights trumps all the other seasons with how much detail is put into there. You can't compare getting a hotel, putting a Christmas tree in it, and some Feliz Navidad stickers and go, yeah, that's just like Horror Nights or better. It's impossible. You can't do it. Can't do it. I would gladly take one park completely Halloweened out for Horror Nights and a, Cabana Bay, how they do their thing every year now. I'd gladly take that over having, just trees everywhere. Not to take away from holidays, because they still have their parades and they have street characters, and you got the Who's and you got the Grinch, and I love all those people. But my vote is with Horror Nights.
Okay. Well, the holidays won that one, believe it or not.
But I do love the holidays. They are beautiful, very magical. And the parade too, the holiday parade, the Macy's parade is amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The music is also really good that plays there. It's very calming for some reason. I don't know why. I just get into a spirit with that.
It really is.
We're gonna have to duke out that whole idea about there being actual decorations, like significant amount of decorations, I should say, for Mardi Gras. I'm gonna be there in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna either live it or video it somehow, and duke this out with you, Chris.
And she's
there's a lot of decorations.
There is a lot of decorations, and I was kind of leaning towards how much is put into like the floats. Like if you had to compare like the Macy's parade with Mardi Gras floats, the Mardi Gras wins.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's 100 times over.
Just if we're
so
comparing parades,
I'm just kind of getting into like the very intricacies of theming, right? Because that's kind of what this one was on. I think of how difficult it was and what it adds to your overall experience. So I think it wins there. But no, holidays is going to have a lot more than Mardi Gras. Don't go expecting the other way around. But there is a lot.
No, I expect it now, Chris. Damn it.
All right, I'll go over there and I'll fix it. Don't worry.
I never expected that one to be the one that caused the most amount of infighting.
The podcast is split.
All right, since now bonus points is my thing, bonus point to Mardi Gras, because the parade floats are made by the same company that makes the parade floats in New Orleans for Mardi Gras, and they really, really are out of this world, and it's a different theme every year. So just a few bonus points to Mardi Gras for theming.
For definite, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I agree.
They still don't win, but just just make them feel better.
It pulls it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, moving on to the last one, and this one, I think this one's going to be interesting. We've got live entertainment.
Don't like this one.
Ooh.
Again, take it as you will.
I think we need to vet this out more.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because we can easily miss some stuff that...
We need parameters.
Yeah.
Are houses considered live entertainment at HHN? I mean, yes, I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Parades, live entertainment. What about like regularly scheduled shows? That's live entertainment too.
Yes. Anything that's live entertainment that is themed to the event that we are talking about.
Themed to the event we are talking about.
So you can't just go, the Born Stuntacular, just because I like it and it's on during Mardi Gras.
I saw him wear a hat.
No,
but you can include things like the Blues Brothers, because they have a holiday show.
Yes. That's what's going to make this one interesting, because I think, anyway, Michelle.
Man, why do I have to go first on this one?
Well, I originally put you first because you were potentially having to duck away, so I put you in first just to make sure you got in. But I can shift you to the back if you want.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll work. I will talk through it, and we'll see where we end up. But this is definitely going to be the hardest one for me, I think. Okay, let's start with Chris's favorite Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras has the parade, which is phenomenal. Literally busted my butt last year trying to get there to see it with Krissa. And it's just incredible. Like Jackie said, the floats, like top tier, amazing. The whole throwing bead experience, if you get to do that, is amazing. Catching the beads is fun too.
It's cool to do it on your birthday as well, isn't it, Jackie?
Yeah, amazing to do on your birthday.
Yes, our queen.
Literally the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interacting with the stilt walkers and the street performers during Mardi Gras is a ton of fun. They are very entertaining and very willing to chat it up with you and make you dance, and that's always fun. And then we got the holidays, which has a lot of smaller shows. It has Grinchmas. It has the show there. Are we considering dining to be live entertainment? Because they've got the Grinch.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say yes.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite things ever. Interacting with the Who's and with the Grinch is just top notch. But I have to say, I don't really watch the other holiday specific shows.
Disgusting.
I know, I really don't.
You can leave now.
We watched all of them. We'd rode nothing and watched all of
them. I'm just trying to think. I've never made it a point to just sit down and be entertained from beginning to end on any of those holiday only shows, except for the Grinch show.
Okay.
So I think holiday is going to have to be out on this one for me. And then HHN, we've got, of course, the entire event is nothing but live entertainment. We have the houses, the scare zones, which are almost as awesome as the houses themselves.
I disagree. Okay.
We've got the shows. Mm-hmm. We have the is Lagoon. I guess that's not a live show since it's not live.
You can
actors.
have that as live entertainment. It's not dead
Moving that
entertainment.
goalpost. Moving the goalpost.
So, how else would you include the Lagoon show then? Because it has to be in there. If it's not classed as live entertainment, is it theming?
It's not live
Music's
entertainment.
first one.
It's not dead entertainment.
Theming, I'd say. It's like pre-recorded.
Thank you, Jackie.
You all missed it on the last one then, so you could have won if we'd have thrown it into theming, but it didn't.
Yeah, we didn't think about it.
That's
Cool. Yeah, that's...
See? They hit a play button and the show goes. Nothing else happens.
All right. I'm going to have to say HHN on this one because for the same reason that the holidays won theming for me, that I feel so fully immersed when I'm experiencing the holidays there. When it comes to live entertainment at HHN, I feel incredibly 100% immersed. Like they are coming at me from every direction. Live entertainment is in everywhere I look. It's everywhere I look. It's everywhere I turn. It's like it's in your face. It's making
it's getting
people
worse.
run.
Please stop, Michelle.
It's making people run. It's making people laugh. Like the entertainers there are so phenomenal, and you just can't escape them. So I'm gonna have to say HHN.
Okay. Cheers.
No.
Chris.
She wants to hear everybody's first. I know what she's doing.
No, I don't actually. It makes it worse. No, I'm going next.
Okay.
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Oh,
so
you want to go next?
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah.
abstain.
No, I need
Okay.
to because hearing what everybody else has got to say just makes it worse. This is hard because okay, we'll go through the year. So, Mardi Gras. I love Mardi Gras. The parade is my favourite of all the parades. Because I just love the theatrics of it. I know all of the event is theatrical, but Mardi Gras just seems more so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's brighter. It's garish. It's in your face. Don't forget that most of Halloween Horror Nights is in darkness, so you don't see a lot of the theming.
I mean, you could do the Masking the Horror tour, technically.
You can, but
can you not?
You can.
You can, with technicality.
And
I'm all about the technicalities.
I know.
And you know that I really love like the little bands that are playing.
Yeah.
I will stop every time and dance.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I love that. And I'm having this wrestle because I don't know whether I'm going for quality over quantity or what at the moment. So
you've had two people go so far and not mention one thing about Mardi Gras. It's like a big deal as part of Mardi Gras.
Wait for your turn.
That I think Chris will... well, I can't because Chris will probably mention it.
Good.
And if not, I'm definitely sure Jackie will.
It's not your turn. Anyway, where was I? So we're moving to Halloween Horror Nights. Which is, you step inside there and, like Michelle says, every turn, every step, everything you hear, everything you see is live entertainment. It is non-stop, which is why we're always exhausted.
Except when you're in those mess of a queues out the back. Like everywhere.
Yeah, but there's still you can still hear the live entertainment because you still hear the chainsaws and you hear people screaming.
All right.
Yeah, and with the weekend last year,
the weekend,
that's one house out of 10. I'll give you
crazy,
one house out of 10.
That was just the beginning, sir. They're going to have that from now on, I bet.
Yeah, I think so.
The entertainment's when the fights break out in the queues.
Oh, that's fun too. Seeing the drunk people.
Yeah, exactly.
Drunk people are great entertainment.
Yeah, my name is Chris. All right.
And then there's Christmas, which, Grinch Show, Who's, Grinch Breakfast.
All your favorite things.
More Grinch.
He's going to talk Grinch.
Your other husband.
Who?
The Grinch, your other husband.
Oh, the husband.
Said.
I thought you said, and your husband. I was like, who?
Not me. No, I'm not interested.
Oh, yeah, I keep telling the Grinch I'm going to marry him, but he's not succumbing to my charms yet.
It wasn't when we met him, no.
Nope. I'll get rid of his tattoo. Where was I going with this? You've got all the shows. For all of them. The Christmas shows are really good. I'm trying to think, was there anything in the resorts?
Entertainment-wise, that's an interesting question, actually.
Because I'll tell you what, if they don't, they're missing a trick with, like, carols around the trees.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, serving eggnog and hot chocolate and stuff.
I think you do get some dress-up characters, but that's about it.
We stayed at 3 hotels and I never saw any.
Cabana Bay.
We stayed at Cabana Bay. I never saw any.
For 5 minutes.
We were literally there for one
overnight.
night, to be fair. Like.
This is really hard.
That's what she said. I can't help it. It's Chris's fault.
That's also what she said. Go ahead.
This is killing me because...
Do you want to come back to it?
No, because... No.
Because other people are desperate.
Can I not just say all 3 and just say yes?
No.
Can I go to a ball again and then decide?
No.
God, you're mean. The thing is, the natural thing to go with is Halloween Horror Nights.
I know.
Because it's everything. Literally everything. And there's so much work goes into Horror Nights. And I appreciate it all.
For such a little time as well.
And it kills me that stuff, once it's done, it's not seen again.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's such a waste.
Yeah.
But then the holidays is, again, that extra music aside, it's really special because the shows are tailored differently, and Celestina Warbeck was different, Blues Brothers is different, Frog Choir's different.
It's been the first time we've made an effort to watch the outside shows in a long time.
Years. Put it this way, I think I might have to go Christmas because thinking about it, I was more interested in the live entertainment than I was in riding the rides.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, at Horror Nights, it's the same because we don't ride rides at Horror Nights, so you could argue the same thing.
I know, but I think I'm still on a post-Christmas high as well. And and I really just want to be contrary, though, and say Mardi Gras.
No, because Chris will do that for you. It won't. I know what Chris is going for. But anyway, you going for holidays? Yes.
Yeah, I'm going holidays.
Christopher,
Yes.
you'll go.
Let's talk about Mardi Gras real quick. Live entertainment, love it. If there's a band playing anything, I will sit and just watch it for hours. So like how Tracy had mentioned, seeing that band that would just be out there playing was one of my favorite things to do as well. I didn't see it that much this past trip. I don't know if they just were not clicking in the same times that we were in that area, but that was a little bit of a bummer. The parade, love it.
We didn't even mention the concerts.
There we go. That's
live
the one I was
entertainment.
waiting
Was
for.
Melvin at you earlier?
You said man.
I thought you were going to mention something else, which I'll mention then.
No, that's
But
what I
yes,
was waiting.
concerts.
Yeah.
Concerts is a huge part for me because, yeah, they have a lot of B, C, and D listers, but sometimes they're like really good old bands that you just want to see. And especially this year, it was a big bummer that they cut it in half. I still am hoping for some more announcements, but I highly doubt it now.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, I know. The other big one, I think that no one's really mentioned, and this would actually apply to 2 out of the 3, is the Coconut Club. So Coconut Club has performances, and we did the Christmas one, and that one was cute. Like, they had these 3 performers there just kind of doing some Christmas songs. But this year for the Mardi Gras one, I loved it. It was I think it was probably like a 2 or 3 piece band.
The American Sirens, they're called. They've just started following us on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Wonderful. They were awesome, by the way. I loved them. Saw them twice. So, I mean, that all adds to it, but I think you'll get a lot more from holidays when it comes to that live entertainment. You have all the shows. We didn't mention Mannheim, which, again, it's the same show every year. And Alexa and I still go and sit and watch that show every year because it's awesome. And it's also just nostalgic. However, with all that being said...
You can always tell whichever one they leave last is the one they're going to vote for.
Well, here's the thing. When you said houses count as live entertainment, that's it. It's game over. There is no question about it. Those houses they just take it all. And on top of that, and this doesn't mention, just last year's Horror Nights. This is just saying Horror Nights in general. So Fuel Girls, live entertainment, the Forbidden Word, Academy of Villains, I guess. I don't know. They were awesome.
They were.
And I'm probably the minority here, but I would go to Halloween Horror Nights 50% for Bill and Ted and 50% for Horror Nights because I love pop culture. And I think those guys did, for the most part, fantastic shows every year covering the year's pop culture. So that as well just kind of blows all the other events out of the water for me as well. So Horror Nights.
I was hoping that I would get a deciding vote, which is why I left myself to go last here. But I have a very good idea where Jackie's going to go. So Jackie, you've been quite quiet, so let's hear a lot about the events because you get to experience these much more than we do.
Yeah, I hate to be predictable, so I want to pick something else just to throw it out there. But I will give a huge bonus point right at the beginning, though, for the team members, because much of the time, it's the same team members that are the entertainment at all 3 events. They're the elves at the holidays, they're the dancers in the parade, and they're the scare actors in the houses. So that's huge right there. The performers, the stilt walkers in the parade at Mardi Gras, I mean, they're amazing. And the fact that they do it every single night for like 3 months is they must be the fittest people in the world because that's like, I'm tired just looking at them, and they're amazing. And the fact that they can dance on the stilts and on the parades and everything, That's awesome. And of course, like Chris mentioned, the concert series. That's what you were probably talking about, Lee, when you said a piece of live entertainment from Mardi Gras that no one had mentioned yet.
Yes.
The concert series is great. And the live bands that just perform in the street and like New Orleans style, they're amazing. And for Christmas, like I do love the Celestina, like the Accio Christmas and all the little Christmas elements they add to the shows. It's really beautiful. And the elves that come out and like play games and chat with everyone. But yeah, I have to be predictable and throw Halloween Horror Nights out because the houses, the scare zones. Do they change any of the shows? Like, no, right?
For Horror Nights?
Yeah, like Harry Potter World does not touch that, obviously. So there's no change in those. But there's, like you mentioned, there's all the shows that go on there.
No, none
Blues
of
Brothers
the
doesn't change
days
anything,
shows
does
they
it?
don't do
Yeah,
it.
that's a good question. I feel like it's just a light
No.
switch for Horror Nights. It's like on and off, daytime, nighttime.
Yeah, but the entertainment that goes on everywhere, and not just that, but inside the scare zones, there are little mini shows like we've
Yes.
seen year after year. There's people singing songs, doing chants. Sometimes it's pre-recorded, but sometimes they're speaking. And there's little mini shows going on that require so much effort and learning this choreography and ad-libbing. It's unparalleled, really.
It is. You're right.
Damn
It's
it.
like those things as well. It's that thing that kills me that we don't get to go to Horror Nights, and when we are, it's so rush because you're sitting in the scare zones and, like you say, watching those little, because the team members get used to each other and they make up their own little stories within the story that's going on, and getting to watch those. That's where someone like you comes in, Jackie, with us getting to watch vicariously through your vlogs, that we get to see those things, because it's too easy to come over and just and focus on the houses and kind of forget about the scare zones a little bit.
Yeah.
But not want to take the time to just sit for an hour and watch it, which you're missing so much at that point.
I am willing to go out from start to finish. If
I would
that's what we need
love
to do.
to go out for the entire event.
You have to. It's so much. It's true. And I can think about it like when I go to the UK theme parks or other places, I can't sit there and watch hour-long things. I have a certain amount of time. It costs a lot of money to get there. I have one day in the park and I have to do what I have to do. So that's why I spend so much time soaking it in here when I can, and see those little magic moments that can only happen when you're watching it night after night type of thing.
Yeah, you get that, that luxury of being a local. I mean, you are right there, so you're there all the time. We're in South Florida, so it's a couple-hour drive for us, but we also kind of get that same luxury of we go to Horror Nights and sometimes maybe do a couple houses, maybe one or two houses, but we'll spend half the night just sitting in a scare zone, just watching a step and repeat over and over.
Yeah.
And that's a really good night for us, and that's it.
Yeah.
See, for us to come over, if we don't get through all 10 houses every night we're there, it's kind of like we haven't done it right, which is
it's a wasted trip.
It is, but it's like you miss out on so many other things. That's why that we've started the last couple of times we've been, those RIP tours they're worth their weight in gold, because you can ease off on the other 2 or 3 days that we're there, because you're going to hit everything twice when you do that RIP tour.
I also recommend traveling in a wheelchair.
Not being pushed by me, though.
Not being pushed by you, because
Chris is
you
apparently
are
better than I am.
Chris
I got you, Trace. I got you.
Yeah. I'll carry the drinks, you push me around.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So you're going Horror Nights, I'm assuming there, Jackie, after all of that. Yes.
I have to. I just, it's just so much. And it's not just quantity over quality. It's also quality. So it's just, you can't beat them. You just can't.
Well, this has ended up being a complete landslide when we all talked about the beginning of it. Might not be, but it really has been, apart from theming, which is interesting. I'm still going to have my 2 pence worth. Mardi Gras, live entertainment, like you say, the stilt walkers on the street. We had so much fun when we came over, pre-COVID, believe it or not. Yeah, that's how long ago it was. Just having fun with them. The parade, like I've said this a million times. In what theme park do you get as a normal guest the chance to be part of the show? That doesn't happen anywhere else, and it is phenomenal.
Oh, it is.
Really good point. Yeah, it's an amazing guest experience.
It really
you can't get anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. It is like how it happened for us probably won't ever happen again. It was kind of fortuitous that we had friends who kind of wangled that for us, but it was just the fact we got to do it as a whole podcast team. I think there was like 8 or 9 of us on. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shows wise, they don't. I'm surprised they don't. Other than like the concerts, and like the Zydeco bands and stuff, they don't have a Mardi Gras show at all. They don't change any of the day-to-day shows, as far as I'm aware.
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's strange.
I don't think so.
And you think the Blues Brothers could just slip 1 or 2 songs in?
Quite comfortably.
Yeah.
I think they probably rely heavily on the fact that they have a concert series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we're not doing all these little things, but we're giving you this big thing. So maybe that's why.
Maybe. I find it quite interesting that we've got through all of this and not one single person's mentioned a tribute store at this point either.
I did mention it a little when
All
I
right.
talked about Christmas. Just a little.
Then the holidays, like we spent our first 2 days doing nothing but watching shows. So we saw the Grinch show, we saw the Blues Brothers, Celestina, the Frog Choir, the other one, the Tri-Wizard Spirit Rally, but they don't change that, I don't think. I'm trying to think what else.
Doesn't the Beat Builders do like
they do, but it's only very like we didn't
Christmas
actually catch that one.
No,
I'm
it
trying
was
to think what else.
bit
there
so
is.
on past.
And obviously we watched Mannheim Steamroller, the parade.
Yeah, love that.
Like Jackie said earlier, all the elves and stuff just out and about. That is some of the best interactions in a theme park. Just those daft little meetups with characters around the park, because it's not scripted. It's I think what the word I want to use. It just
Like spontaneous.
Yes, it just like whatever that happens at that time. It's so cool.
Just to add on that, to Jackie's point as well about these actors and performers, sharing all the different events. It's seeing this year's Mardi Gras, and I don't know if it's just anecdotal, but it felt like there was a lot more of these entertainers out there, and they were very, very quick on their feet. They reminded me almost of like Who's, where they would even get me off guard, and just they were running around, and one dude would run up to me with a question. He's like, for a Mardi Gras coin, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? And then he just throws it at me and walks away. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, I forgot about the Who's, the Grinch breakfast, the Grinch himself.
Yeah, the Grinch is amazing.
It's so cool.
Good.
Like we were convinced we weren't going to get a virtual line, and I managed to get one at like just a random time in the morning, and it was so good.
I was trying hard not to be the petulant child and get disappointed every day when he didn't get one.
I was prepared to get up at like 6 o'clock and run to City Walk and just start refreshing from like 7 o'clock in the morning. But Horror Nights is pure live entertainment from start to finish. It really is. If you just take last year's, you had the Pumpkin Lord at the entrance to that first scare
Oh my gosh,
zone.
yeah.
I could have stood and watched that for a
All
long
the
time.
houses, Fuel Girls. I'm going to class Ghoulish. I don't care. Just any of those.
It's your show.
Marathon of Mayhem. I wish it was my show. And I'm so disappointed that Michelle didn't get to see Ghoulish last year, that you were there after the hurricane came through, because it was so good. And just
the entertainment there even starts before they open the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, that's off kind of what Jackie said earlier about it being a paid-for event. Because they closed the park, you couldn't really do that with the other ones, because it doesn't work quite the same.
Yeah.
Well, on top of that, they also have a much larger budget for Horror Nights to have all these live entertainment, because it's a separate ticketed event.
Yeah, and Michelle, you mentioned the Grinch breakfast. No one's mentioned Scare Actor Dining. I know friends of ours who came over last year said they hardly saw any actors and dubbed it Scarce Actor Dining, which I do like. But it's still another live entertainment offering.
It's still really fun.
Yeah. It just...
I would totally do it again. It was just the location was weird, but it's still awesome.
Just even though we don't get scared, it's funny that I've said this about Horror Nights before, that even though it's a conga line, you still manage in certain houses and certain areas to get those little individual experiences with scare actors still. It's so cool.
Yeah.
just it is amazing from start to finish. Horror Nights, I absolutely adore it. It kills me the years we can't get out. You look at just like you talk about live entertainment. Without live entertainment, those houses are nothing. The whole event's nothing. So you could do the holidays without the live entertainment, kind of, because it would still be theming and stuff, and Mardi Gras, kind of it. But if you take the live entertainment portion out of Halloween Horror Nights, what have you got?
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
That's a fantastic point. Yeah,
have to agree with everyone else and say Halloween Horror Nights. Everyone else,
sorry, Tracy.
Miss Contrary over here.
Honestly,
it was very close because there's so
nothing
much
in it.
more again. But I think, and the fact that it's different every year, like you said, Chris, Mannheim Steamroller is the same every year. The Grinch show's the same every year.
But I've only seen them once. I've only been once.
That's true. I mean, look, again, going back to Horror Nights, you go back, there's like, I know Jackie said there's like little mini shows going on as well, but then there's also like, going back to 2015 in Icon Alley where they had it was like the usher and the storytellers, like actual sort
Loved
of on
that.
the stage shows as part of it as well. It's
even further back, like in 2005 and 6, they used to have those stages in the queues, just doing acts. And I remember years ago they would bring in, I don't know the names of these guys, but the ones that have like, there's this one guy that he's basically a reptile. He has, I forgot his name, but his all tatted, pierced out, everything. Like he would be out there and he would be on a stage in the middle of a queue, kind of doing a little performance. It was really, really cool.
Is that the one with the bifurcated tongue?
Yeah, Michelle, from covering the history on Rush of Fear, like when Halloween Horror Night started, it was like 2 houses and like 20 shows.
Right.
Because they couldn't do anything else.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was no shows when first year we went 2004. I don't remember there being a single show. Oh, maybe we just missed it.
You got the parade though.
Yeah, there was a parade.
That
You're
parade
right.
was
yes,
amazing.
I wish they'd bring that. I know it never would, but
that would be cool.
It would be awesome.
It was a lot quieter then.
It was like there's no way that. But then even like the Rat Lady, you had that going through as well, which was so cool.
And like the roving chainsaw gangs. I mean, those go back really far, and those have been their own thing. Adding a little extra entertainment everywhere.
Yeah, and they have their own thing going on together, don't they? I love when they do those kind of little huddles and then they're all just so cool.
I like how this just turned into a Horror Nights episode.
It was always going to, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
I was going to keep on talking about it, but I'm going to stop right now.
You can go. Anyone else got anything they want to say overall before we head out? Jackie, you're the guest. You want anything to say about the events overall?
Definitely. Yeah, all of the events are really beautiful, really amazing. Again, the bonus points to Mardi Gras on the holidays for the fact that you do not have to purchase a ticket. You don't have to buy anything extra. If you visit during those times, you're getting all of this amazing extra entertainment and theming for the same cost as your ticket, which is, I mean, pretty impressive. And I can't think of many theme parks that offer that. And then Halloween Horror Nights, of course, being just one of the best Halloween or events at a theme park ever in the world at all, has an unfair advantage being a ticketed event. So they have a huge budget for that event. But still, I mean, what you get for your money, I feel like is so much more than many other theme parks events for the cost of the ticket. I think it's so world class that they have to keep trying to get better and better every year. And I think that's a good thing. I think also I want to say that we all know that the teams who put these events on are fans of the events themselves.
Yes.
So it's not these like cold corporate, like in a lot of other parks where it's like, oh, let's what can we do to, ROI and capital. It's like they're fans and they want to up the ante because they think it's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can feel that. And I think
You
that
can.
gives it something extra.
Yeah, definitely. I even think I'm just going to steal from you and just give another bonus point to Mardi Gras, just for the fact that you kind of mentioned it, but yes, Halloween Horror Nights is a paid separate event, but on the right night of Mardi Gras, you could go experience all of Mardi Gras and then possibly see a major band that you love for the same price. There is no extra. So you get one of those. True. That really bumps it up in my books.
Yeah, that's huge.
I mean, at the end of the day, they're all worth visiting. They all have their own merits, but
100%.
I knew going into this that we were Jackie aside, but I kind of had an inkling that I knew we were all huge Horror Nights fans. And I know that even when we started discussing this, if it ever came down to between one or two, it would always go, I'll just go Horror Nights because I love it so much.
We're trying to pick our favorite child right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Love them all.
Yeah, it just it all has such a different atmosphere, and that's
They all
the
bring
thing.
something different to the party.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at it now. I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. There's barely a month now where there's not an event going on at Halloween Horror Nights. There you go. It's a Freudian slip, isn't it? At Universal, it's like you get through January and Mardi Gras starts, and then that finishes like 6 months later, and then we're into Horror Nights, and then Horror Nights ends, and then the holidays start.
Yeah, is there any time when the parks doesn't have some sort of decoration up?
The middle of summer, I think.
It's funny because it's kind of like Epcot with the festivals.
Yes.
It's like whenever it goes back and it's just the regular Universal Park music, I'm like, the normal music.
Yeah, I do like though now, like especially like with Mardi Gras the last couple of years, that it's spread out. It's not just in kind of what we discussed earlier. It's not just in Universal Studios Florida now, that it is expanding out into the hotels and the restaurants and stuff like that, like the holidays has. I'd like them to do more of that with Horror Nights and kind of do, I think Tracy, you said it, just to do some little things in the hotels, not necessarily like they did at Cabana Bay, but do that, or at least theme the hotels out a little bit. I don't know what to do. Even keep the Christmas trees up and just put Horror Night stuff on them.
You took my Christmas tree down. It's going to become a year-round tree. Every year it takes a Christmas tree down.
With how long Mardi Gras is, and I forgot what year was it, they just kept on pushing it out.
Yeah.
And
It was 21.
I think it was
wasn't
2019-ish.
No, it was 21. It was wasn't it the year after COVID?
Something like that. They're like, sorry guys, we haven't had this event in a couple of years, so let's just extend it out. I feel like with the length of the event, they should be able to put up decorations in a lot of places and have their ROI.
Yeah.
Just because it's there for so long.
I almost think Mardi Gras is too long, to be honest.
It's a bit
like,
up there.
come on.
You're talking about an event that lasts the actual Mardi Gras like one day.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Halloween Horror Nights is the same. Halloween's one day of the year and they stretch it out over 2 months.
Yeah, but they got to pass.
But no, it's never too long.
Right. Well, there we go. I guess it went kind of where I was hoping it wouldn't go. I wanted a bit more. I wanted a bit more of suspense that we're not quite sure where this is going to go, but it was like.
Well, you should have asked better questions then.
The questions were there.
Were there?
No, they were good. They were good questions.
Yeah, to be fair, we all knew what the answer was going to be. It was more about the open debate than just to get us talking, I think, more. Than
Maybe if you had like a pre-20, was it 2018? Michelle?
Oh,
Michelle,
yeah.
was your first year?
2015.
2015.
So we had a pre-2015 Michelle. Maybe this show would have been different.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Probably even more so a pre-2019 Michelle. Like,
Is that the first time we went with
because
her?
she can't talk about the theme because her eyes were closed for most of it.
Yep.
But I was still very hooked from the very beginning.
I know. Cool. Right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our
you're very
12th year
welcome.
anniversary. Again, I hope this sounds all right. If it doesn't, I'd just blame technology. Jackie, it's been awesome to finally have you on.
It really has.
It's been cool.
It's been so fun talking to you guys, and congratulations and happy anniversary. I'm very happy for you. That's quite an accomplishment. It really is. And I love being able to talk to people who love all this stuff as much as I do. It's really, really fun.
No, I'm glad we managed to figure it out, because even getting you on for this was a bit of a pain, because you've got all stuff going on, and we managed to get like this tiny little pigeonhole tonight to figure it out. It's been awesome. So we'd love to have you on again in the future. I know I kind of hinted that we wanted to talk to you, and you were like, I'm a little shy. I don't like talking about myself. But just to talk about
I'll talk about theme parks all day, but myself, I'm like,
cool. Yeah, I'd love to have you back on again. It's just to give you a chance a little bit more to talk rather than fighting amongst us.
I don't mind. It's fun.
It's cool. Right, Jackie, before we go then, as I would with all our guests, please plug your social media and everywhere where those of you who don't know who Jackie is,
shame on you,
should, and go and check her out. Where can they find you?
Thank you. Well, my main thing is my YouTube channel. It's called SuperEnthused, and I cover theme parks and travel and road trips. I go overseas. I do stuff here, Florida, all sorts of things like that. And then I have, Instagram, Twitter, I have a TikTok. I barely use it, but if you're there, hey, whatever. I have Facebook, like a Facebook page that I use a lot. And then we have our new podcast, and it's called Expedition Enthused. And it's kind of like the director's cut of both of our YouTube channels. It's like behind the scenes and more stuff that doesn't really fit into our channels, like shows and movies and theme parks and news and all sorts of stuff.
It was very interesting watching your Gatlinburg vlog and then listening to the podcast of the nightmare you had getting home.
And it's like, it doesn't fit in a video. I wasn't filming when it was happening, where no one would ever know that craziness was going on.
Cool. Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm so glad we could figure this out.
Yeah.
Me too.
Thank you, Tracy, for putting up with me for 12 years, plus like the extra we've been married as well.
Yeah, you're all right.
If it was ever going to be divorced, it would have been the last 12 years. Podcasting, I will warn you now, podcasting puts a strain on a relachris
Sink
I
or
nearly
swim,
got
buddy.
divorced like an hour and a half ago, to be fair, when we were having technology issues. Chris, Michelle, of course, you haven't been with us right from the start, but the show wouldn't be what it was now without you two.
That's true.
Aw, so sweet.
Thank you, bud.
You're welcome.
I love doing
I
this.
just need to hang out with you guys more. It's not fair.
Just
I
a
know.
quick plane ride.
A quick. It wasn't. December's was not quick.
No, it was not.
No, yeah, that was a bad
wasn't
one.
at all. So that's going to wrap up our 12-year anniversary. Of course, we want to end with a Universal Is, and I have asked Jackie to be part of this one. But of course, if you want to get involved, all you've got to do is let us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less, and send them to us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. But for this week, Jackie, it is over to you.
Okay. So I think the 3 words I'm going to use to describe Universal Orlando Resort are vibrant, edgy, and fun. Just fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you back next week.
That was another episode of the Unofficial Universal Orlando Podcast, the best and only podcast about Universal Orlando on the island. Check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcasts, news, and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. Join the Producers Club by emailing us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, for all your other theme park news, and email Michelle at portkeyvacations.net to book your next trip. So until next time, this is Amity 6, call off the Marines, we're coming home.